When we're talking about inventory, we're going to have different methods to value our inventory because you don't always pay the same amount for each item in your inventory. Our issue is what's in cost of goods sold and what's in ending inventory. EI is ending inventory. At the end of a period, everything you bought is either in your inventory or it's in your cost of goods sold. Those are the only two places your inventory goes. It starts in inventory. As you sell it, it goes to cost of goods sold. If we always pay $1 for it, we don't really care because we know $1 times the number we sold is in cost of goods sold. $1 times what's in ending inventory is your inventory. But if we spend different amounts for each one, then I've got an issue on what's moving to cost of goods sold when I sell it and what's still sitting in inventory. The way we've done it so far, though we really haven't talked about it, is a specific unit cost, which means I can identify, that's why it's called specific identification, the cost of each thing in my inventory. And if it's in your inventory, that's also cost of goods sold. If I'm selling cars, each one has a VIN number and each one's a little different from other ones. So I can identify, well, you bought this car, it cost me this amount. That's what goes into cost of goods sold. If on the other hand, I'm selling cans of beans, I might not be as careful about if I bought this can of beans at the beginning of the month or the end of the month. But if I can trace it, it's the easiest way to visualize what you're doing. Say that a customer ordered a 10 iPads with a pink bedazzled case on the logo. The iPads always cost you, we'll just say $230. And again, what makes them unique is that now we've got all this bedazzling on it. My cost of goods sold in this case would be the $230 plus the $40, because those are very different ones, or $270 times my 10 iPads. So this works really well when you have very unique items that you sell. I can specifically identify you bought one particular bedazzled iPad that's got a different price than all those other iPads that look exactly the same that are sitting on the shelf. Unfortunately, a lot of the things we sell are just what we'd call commodities, just a bunch of the same stuff. If that's the case, then I have to come up with some way to decide what goes to cost of goods sold. What these inventory methods are just a consistent or systematic way to decide if I bought 100 things and I sold 3, which 3 did I sell? And it doesn't mean I really truly sold those particular 3. It's not like up here where the bedazzled ones are the ones that are sold and everything else is still on the shelf. It's just a way that we'll do it the same way every time. It's not, again, the actual way you sell them. Though when we talk about it, sometimes we talk about it as if it is. We want the cost of goods sold to match the revenue generated in some consistent way. We're going to do a little illustration here. I'm going to do by candy. I'm going to start with the beginning inventory. This camera should work pretty well, I think, where I have 3 units that I bought at $1. Then, those are really expensive little candy kisses, but they look bigger on the screen, so maybe they're really big candy kisses. All right, and then I bought 4 more. And again, these are interchangeable. I really didn't care which color they came in, but by making them different colors, it makes it easier to see what I'm doing. And you can kind of follow along. Got that marked down here. Just get 3 of anything. 4 of something else, and then we're going to need 1 more of something else. So you can use pens and pencils or whatever you want. I sell 2 of them. And the question is, which 2 did you sell? These cost you $1. These cost you $2. Did I sell these because I had them there longest and that way they won't get stale? I could kind of average it and see, well, what's the average cost of all this stuff because you just stuck your hand in and grabbed 2 of them. Or like these kind of sitting on top, and so you grab those 2 on top and those are going to sit there forever and ever and ever. That's our question. We really don't think about, well, we sold these because we didn't want them to get stale, or we sold these because they were on top. We just want to do the same thing absolutely every year so that we don't manipulate. In good years, I'm going to take these expensive ones and sell those. And then in bad years, I'll sell the cheap ones so that my net income looks bigger. I just need a systematic way to do it. And every company will just decide, like the very first year they're in business, and they'll use that generally for the rest of eternity. The most probable one that you would do is, I'm going to put these back down here. So I had those 3 at $1, and then I bought these new 4. Probably the easiest way when I sell these 2 here is to say, I'm going to sell these 2 up here. They came in first. I'm going to go ahead and sell those. I'm going to sell those. So that leaves me with 1 of these, with 1 of those, and then I still have my 4 new ones. We'll complicate life a little bit more. And then let's say I get another shipment, make those green ones. And this little green one's really expensive. You can tell I got Christmas candy on sale. That one's $4. The prices of chocolate just went sky high. Now the question is, I sell 4 units. Which 4 units of this bunch sitting in front of me did I sell? Well, you want to do the same thing you did the first time. Start it with the oldest and move forward. Before I'd sell, I'm going to sell this one. Then I'll do the next group, and that's 3. And so I'm left with 1 of the $2 ones and this little $4 one. I'll do my ending inventory first because I can see it here, and I'll pull those back here. My ending inventory, what I've got still left over is this green one here. So I've got 1 at $4, which is this one. And then I've got 1 red one at $2 because I sold 3 of these. I put a little thing here. I sold 2 of these in the first one. Then I sold 1 of these at 1, and then these 3 at 2. If I kind of look at these. Just to double check myself, this is my other batch here. These were $1 each. 1, 2, 3 is my cost of goods sold. 3, and those silver ones were $1. And then I've got 3 of these red ones at $2. Total amount of candy I sold should be 6, so that's right. So this would be $3. 3 times 2 is 6, I think. So that gives me $9. That was my cost of goods sold. My ending inventory, I had that 1 green one and the other one, $6. And you should be able to double check the total amount that I had in this whole big stack here. We call that available to sell. We had 3 at 1. I bought 4 at 2. And then I bought another 1 at $4. So that is 8 and 3 is 11. So that's $15 here. And this has to equal the same $15 because I had this much in total, and then this much was left. So I'm just dividing that between these two places. In this one, we decided to sell these dollar ones first. And so we call that first in, first out, which is just that. The first ones that we bought are the first ones we sold. By definition, then you're going to be left with the brand new ones. If that was it, we wouldn't have a whole chapter on it. Same problem. Start with the 3. So those are my 3 $1 ones. Then I bought these 4 $2 ones. I sold 2. Well, this one's called last in, first out. So what do you think I'm going to pick? The last one you bought is the one you're going to sell. When I sell 2 and last in, first out, I'm going to take those 2 and move them out. Then I get my little green one in here. That makes a nice little triangle, doesn't it? I think you need to make those little ringing sounds. We have that one, that's the $4 one. And last in, first out, when I sell 4, I'm going to start with the last one that I bought, grab 4 and mail those out to the customer. So I'm going to take that one, that one, that one, and one of those, and that's what I'm going to sell to the customer. My ending inventory, I got these 2 little silver ones, and they cost me $1 each. So that would be $2. And my cost of goods sold, I got a whole bunch of things here. I guess I'll do this one first. I've got my one that was $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 of the red ones at $2. And then I got that other one, early one, that cost me $1. So this is $2. I can do that in my head. So this is 9. So this is $13 as cost of goods sold. If you remember the total amount of available that we had before, you remember from that, we still had that same $15. This whole mess of stuff cost us $15. So again, I still have $15 here, but it's just divided up very differently because I'm selling the more expensive stuff as cost of goods sold. When prices rise, my cost of goods sold is going to be higher here. With that one, I did last in, first out, and all that meant was the last ones in were the first out. Last choice then, and that is weighted average. And that's kind of like I just throw them all in a big old pile and go from there. So I'll put these back up here. They smell really good. I'm going to have a snack here after we're done. We had the 3 silvers and the 4 red ones. So now I'm going to sell 2. We're going to use the average price. The average price really isn't $1.50 because I've only got 3 of these. I have 4 of those. So you want the average. You can imagine if you just had something like that, it would make absolutely no sense to say the average would be $1.50. So you want to do a weighted average. We have 3 times $1 gives us $3, and 4 times $2 gives us $8, which gives us $11 in total cost across 7 units. So you take the 11 divided by the 7. My cost is $1.57 each. My cost of goods sold, I sold 2 units. That's $3.14. I know this $1.57 has to be somewhere between 1 and 2. If you come up with 50 cents or if you come up with $2.50, you know you're screwed up. It really doesn't make any difference which one you get rid of, because now what I'm going to say is this bunch here all are $1.57. And if I take 5 times $1.57, you come up with $7.85. So we're going to be off a penny, but we're close enough. So I'm going to say all of those are the same thing. So now I buy this green one. When I sell these 4, I have to come up with a new price. So I've got these 5 at $1.57. which is, it's 786, so that it comes out nice. If you keep your decimals going, it works. And then I bought this one at $4. When I put a $4 here, so that's my cost of goods sold, I now have 1186. I want to divide that by 4, and you come up with about 790. That's how you know you're looking wrong. $1.975. It needs to be somewhere between $1.57 and $4. It's pretty close to 2, but I'm not going to round it. I sold 4 units. My cost of goods sold for this last batch is 1.975 times 4, which equals 790. And my ending inventory then, so I still have 2, and I'm going to say they're at 975. So that is 395. So my ending inventory really is 395. My cost of goods sold is the 790. And my cost of goods sold up here, total cost of goods sold is, so I got 1104. So I'm going to make this 1105 because you've got to make it total to your 15 plus the 395. Again, I've got my $15 all accounted for. That's one other thing with weighted average. That means when you start the next period, we don't really care if I've got green ones or red ones or purple ones. When you start your beginning inventory next period, everything's sitting at that 1.975, and that's where you'll start your beginning inventory. Final thought, if you always pay the same price for the things in your inventory, you don't care. So if you're in a contract where it says we purchase our candy for $1 a unit, you'll get exactly the same thing with LIFO, FIFO, or weighted average.